Hi, and welcome to the 2 Points podcast created by Lorenzo Galati and Mario Scotti. I'm your host, Samarie Walker, former UConn, Kentucky, and pro women's basketball player. I'm here with Kieron Achara and Aishah Sutherland. How y'all doing?
Good, good. Thank
Good,
you.
Good,
thanks. Good.
good,
And
good. All right,
I just heard that
go ahead.
hearing that bio there. I didn't even want to say where I went to school.
Oh, listen.
I'll just leave it at that.
Listen, both of y'all's careers are way more decorated than mine. So no, that's like the highlight of my career right there is going to UConn. Other than that, not much happening. So hey, I guess it's a good one to have, but nah, y'all way more decorated than me. So no, I'm ready to talk about y'all though. We're gonna start with you, Aisha. Talk to me about how you guys started playing basketball in the first place.
Okay, I started playing basketball because my father played, and he played overseas. He played for University of Cincinnati, and I don't know, when I saw the ball when I was younger, I just always went to the basketball courts and just started shooting. He didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, like, he didn't even want me to be a basketball player. He wanted me to be a tennis player, but I wouldn't let it go. And I would go to the course at school and just shoot, just shooting by myself until he was like, okay, let's put you in the YMCA, let's put you in the clubs,
Yeah.
he coached them. That
That's
started,
awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome. I'm right down the street from Cincinnati, like an hour away. I'm
Oh,
up in Dayton.
wow.
So, yeah,
Nice,
that's awesome.
nice.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome that you had that to look up to. And it's crazy that he didn't want you to play basketball. I wanted to play tennis, but I was so scared to try out for the team. My dad
yeah.
trained me the whole summer one year, and
Really?
yeah, and I freaked out before we tried out. I couldn't do it, man. I could not do it.
It is
All right.
hard.
So, yeah, it is. It was fun, but I was like,
It's
I don't want to
fun,
be
yeah.
embarrassed. You know what I'm
Because you
saying?
you
And
you
and
out there, everyone looking at you, you have teammates, not everyone
Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I didn't want to, like you said, I didn't want that pressure on me. I didn't need
right,
that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, look, you've had a very tenured career. I'm not going to put our ages out there because we women, we don't do that. But I want to know, how have you kept yourself motivated? Like, what keeps you going to keep leveling up and keep getting better?
I mean, honestly, like being able to play, it just gives me this drive, this energy, and being able to go overseas and what basketball brings to me, it just gives me that like I need to keep playing. I'm gonna keep
For
going
sure.
until I can't play anymore. I mean, I get to travel the world, experience different cultures. Like this is the best time of my life right now, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I can, you know?
For sure. For sure. Are you over there right now? Or are you back at home?
No, I'm still over here, yes.
What is it like right now? I know this is like,
So
sensitive timing. Yeah.
yeah, I'm in Poland, so it's right next to Ukraine.
Hmm.
So it's yeah,
Man.
I'm looking at the news like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening?
Yeah. Have you thought about going home? Or you like,
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
stay here and stay focused? Yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Man, I'm already knowing. Well, I'm
Yeah.
praying for you for all of
Thank you.
y'all. That's like, yeah, like definitely one of my prayers because that has to be scary for y'all. And I'm somewhat grateful now that I'm not hooping no more because I don't know what I would do. I would have ran across that water, man, back home. As soon as I heard Putin bombing, nah,
No,
I'm out
yeah,
of
no,
there.
for
Done.
real, for real.
Yeah, because he's something else, man.
I
All
mean,
right, how did you guys? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I felt, worse for the players that were in Ukraine, in Russia, they were trying to get out quick
Yes,
because
Hmm.
those are where the
yes,
bombings are happening.
for
And
sure.
like I'm just glad I don't hear anything and
Yeah.
I'm going home soon. So
For sure. Good.
yeah.
Good. That's a blessing, man. I,
Right.
I saw on Instagram that there's players whose clubs won't let them
Yeah.
leave, and that I don't
Yeah.
understand. 'Cause it's like y'all should be trying to get out of there too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there needs to be, if I was the type to go back to school, that's something I would get into is like sport law because there's
Yeah.
nobody really protecting the athletes, especially in
Yeah. They
situations
are.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm definitely praying for all of y'all and even for us here because we don't know what is going on.
Right.
But thank you for sharing that and
Thank
being
you.
open about that. Yeah, yeah. How did you two meet overseas? I know you both are clients of 2 Points, but how did
Yeah.
you guys end up linking up overseas? Either of you can
It
share.
was just so yeah, so it was just literally passport. Someone was looking for a passport overseas, so I got the little message
Yes.
on social
Yes.
media like, please help,
Uh,
because that passport makes all the
mhm.
difference for so many
Yes.
Americans.
Yeah.
So How's that search going? Are you been able to get anything yet? Are you playing as a dual
So
citizen now?
I
Or are
ended up
you
receiving the Belize passport. So Belize used to be, owned by the
okay?
UK. So when they received their
Hmm.
independence, you
Yeah.
get either or. My father didn't know that his sister had him get the Belizean passport. So now as his daughter, I had to receive that as well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's a blessing in
Yeah.
For
itself too,
real.
because
Yeah.
That's
it makes it a
dope.
little bit easier. Because that drive for American players, that is difficult. Because you were talking earlier on about that player welfare
Mhm.
piece.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And, I feel, I think even after I've done playing the sport, I'm doing a lot of work in player welfare now, and it is that commodity mindset. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It's like every player's replaceable. So actually, you're not going home right now because we've got games to win, or
Hmm.
it's not thinking about the person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that is the biggest thing fundamental to our game. That as players, we have to kind of find a way. And this is what I said from a 2 points perspective. Every perspective, it's about, okay, the welfare of the player, thinking about the needs of the player, and not just in the sport, but life after the
For
sport as well.
sure.
That's another big talking point. That I actually went back to university and did a paper on the transition out of sport, because it's such a big topical point that you're losing your identity in
Hmm.
many ways. And you're starting again, because that's what that's who you are. And
Exactly.
all of a sudden that's gone. You know what I mean? So some people try and cling on to it. Some people go into coaching when they don't even want to coach. It's just because that's all they think they can do,
Hmm.
So that's a lot of the work I'm doing at this moment in time, away from basketball, to try and help that next generation.
Wow, I love that. And thank you for doing that. That's
Mm,
something, yeah, I experienced personally after retiring is,
mm,
I retired at, I think, 24, 25, and I just, did not know what to do, where to go. I thought I had life figured out and it was going to be so easy
yeah.
to get the jobs I wanted or start the businesses I wanted. And it
Hmm.
is not like that at all. But I appreciate you saying that, because it is very, very hard. And that identity piece, even today, I still question who I am and what am I doing,
Yep.
because I'm so used to being Samarie, the basketball player, and I'm not that anymore. So thank you again for
Hmm.
saying that, for sure. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do. What types of people do you work with? What types of experiences have you had with them?
Yeah, so I guess my journey started, like I said, I went back to university to do a master's in leadership in my last couple of years playing. But I was saying that for me, my last year playing basketball, I retired from basketball because mentally I just felt drained. Like I was starting to question everything. I was very insecure because I think I was thinking about the what next. So I couldn't concentrate on the now, because I was so worried about what am I going to do. So anyway, I went back into education while still playing. But the one thing I got to do was interview an array of athletes who had been through that journey already, and actually speaking to people who had been through the journey. I said it wasn't education; it was therapy.
Hmm.
Because now I'm hearing people saying, you're going to have these feelings, but actually I looked at this, and have you thought about that? And all of a sudden it was just like there was hope. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So as soon as I finished with that, I then got into that kind of line of work. And the company I'm working right now, Frog Systems, we specialised on lived experience stories, and it was mainly for employee well-being, like in the corporate world. We work with clients like PwC. We just did a big project there with a female lead, which was a real kind of cool project. But I came to them and said, this could be really big in sports, because a lot of athletes go through so many things. And they didn't see that, they didn't understand it. But I was saying, like, people see athletes as these invincible, demigods who can take on the world, and they're so resilient, and they're so this and so. But I said, no, actually, athletes are just real people. They go through they have real emotions, they have real thoughts. It's not, we get put on a pedestal, and sometimes we use that to our advantage, but actually sometimes it can be a curse. Because people believe you're okay and you're making all this money and you're doing all that, and actually that's not the reality, So,
1000%.
so I started delving in a little bit deeper with sports. I'm based in Scotland, so I started off with working within football. Even tomorrow, I've got a presentation preparing some athletes on their journey, and the thing is, I don't want to call it a plan B.
Hmm.
Like I think that's for an athlete, calling something a plan B is like, no, you're saying I'm not going to make it. You don't say it to someone who's in sport, who's
Hmm.
competitive, because no matter what the percentage is, I'm going to make it. That's how you got to where you got to. But what I'm trying to say now is, it's not a plan B. It's building you collectively. And I guess in America right now, you're talking about that more than an athlete perspective. You know, that's what I'm really doing. I'm actually focused on saying you are more than that athlete, and I think that's building you up as a person. And actually, it can help you on the court as well, because you improve your communication skills. You feel more comfortable in your environment. You're doing things away from the sport as well. Take your mind off things. All of that can build you up as a player.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if your mind's right, that's when you're playing at your best.
Yes.
You know, so I think the old school mindset was it's 24/7. Basketball is your life. Ball is life. Everything's ball, ball, ball. But the reality is, it's never been that way.
Exactly.
And for most of us who went through university and everything else, we always had to balance other things too. It's just that we never thought of it like in that way. You know, we weren't strategizing at the time and thinking about where we can take it. So right now, I'm working with the players, the British Basketball League. I'm running a lot of the call it the BBL supports. Really working on their network, and the problem I'm having right now is actually getting some players to engage in certain things, because again, the mindset is like, I'm too busy for all of this. You know what I mean? I just want to focus on hoops, do this, do that, eat, sleep, repeat. But it's usually players who've had an injury or been released, or, you know what I mean, they're in their last year and they feel like, okay, help me now. But actually, I'm saying that you need to start working on that infrastructure right from the get-go. It's not, it's always a part of you, you know. So it's changing that mindset, because people believe it's like, okay, I'm retiring next year, hook me up, help me out. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, you have to start thinking a little bit more about this thing, about you as a person. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years, and again, it gives me purpose as well, because for me, leaving the sport, as much as I told you I went back to university, I thought I'd planned everything else, I was still like, you know, who am I? What am I? Like, even to this day, I still, you know, former basketball player, or, you know, I'm this, I'm that. But actually, who am I now? Like, it's constantly changing, you know. So, yeah, that's been my journey thus far. And like I said, it's a really, really enjoyable work. I just did a FIBA mentoring course as well. So
that's awesome.
I'm hoping to mentor a couple more players coming through the process as well.
How do you both think that if we had something like that for us in college, would we be, or other athletes around our age, where do you think that they would be? Would they have struggled with their identity, or would they have maybe transitioned a lot faster, a lot easier if we had that?
I feel like it would have been an easier transition. I hear a lot of my my old teammates, or, my friends I was in college with, and it was hard for them to transition from, basketball to the real life. And I mean, I'm thinking about it, like I probably have a few more years left, and I'm thinking, okay, I have some of what I want to do, but this is the easiest money that you ever,
Yep.
I'm ever gonna make, and
Literally.
how do I go from doing this majority of my grown up life, all of my grown up life, to like
Yes.
it ending, like that can be a shock.
Very huge one. But at least, we got Kieron right here. There's a service that helped me transition, and like transition 4 years later. Like, they just helped me get a job and really helped me get going, I feel like, with my professional career. And there's things out there, there's people out there to help you. There's a lot more out here now than it was when we first started hooping. So, and the type of person that I feel like you are, I think that you are, you'll be fine. It's if you can play for this long, trust me, the world gonna be a breeze, man. You'll be just fine. For real.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
And I was saying, see, from the mentoring perspective too, it's like, the reason I did the FIBA mentoring course was because I think a lot of people try to mentor, but actually they're not helping, because some people use their own experiences too much. So say, for example, I've got young Scottish kids trying to go over to the States, and I'm like, yo, you need to go to the States, you need to do this, you need to do that. But actually their experiences are different from me. For one, I'm talking to point guards, I'm 6'10", I was always potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually, for a guard going over, it's a different story. And actually, some people are so homesick that they can't hack going away from home. And I'm saying, no, you have to go and do. Like, so what like, from the mentoring piece, what I'm trying to work is actually getting people to start thinking more about their own needs and their own wants, and actually tasking people to take action, because that is
Yes.
the biggest thing. I feel that in a lot of sport, athletes are too babied. Like I said, the college experience, you are babied.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you show up to practice, your shoes are there, you're this, is that, like, and then you hit overseas and you're like, what is going
Yep.
on? Like the long bus rides, the this. I'm used to having people do things for me because I am me. You know what I mean? And actually, it humbled me so quick. But I was saying little things like paying bills,
Oh
or
man.
you know what I mean, like that. Like I'm looking around like I don't even know how to do this, because in this, when I was overseas, my contract was taken care of. It was this, it was that.
Yep.
So actually, there was a lot of things that I wasn't prepared for because I was babied. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed being babied, and I enjoyed being pampered. And when I was over in Italy, I would phone someone up. My light bulbs went out. You know what I mean? I need someone to come and screw 'em.
Wow.
Like that should never happen. You know what I mean? And that was a service that a lot of clubs did to make you feel like you're a part. But actually, it's setting you up for failure.
Yes.
Because you know what I mean. So
think
yeah, it was.
Man.
I think
Yeah. So yeah, different experiences, definitely for me. But again, a lot of life lessons, and that's the thing right now. Even little things like getting young players to set up their own basketball camps and stuff in the summer, and actually take responsibility of how it's ran. How do you go about getting sponsors? How do you book the hall? How do you get the coaches in? Instead of some people, they're lucky enough to just use their name, and it's this camp is kind of set up in their name and everything's ran, because you're not learning any skills from that. You know what I mean? You're not learning that running a business and running these other little things, the finances, everything else that comes with that. I think if players start taking all these little experiences, it's a way of actually learning and preparing them, and building their resumes as well for life after sport.
For sure. Aisha, what were you going to say? You were going to say
yeah,
something.
I think that the men are definitely babied more than the women.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if a light bulb is
yeah,
broken in my place, I'm sorry, I have to fix it
yeah.
myself. Like, they'll probably give me the light bulbs, but
Or
Wow.
you're living in the dark.
I'm gonna have to
So
figure
they
it out.
don't give you the light bulb.
I'm so sorry about Lexi. She's been like, really like, hello,
No.
this is,
Yeah.
Lexi. Hi, say
Hi,
hi.
Lexi. We got to guess.
Aye.
Yeah, like, an off season, for instance, for women, we have off season where we don't make any money. And, I have
Yeah.
to
hmm
Airbnb my apartment. I have to find, do
Man.
camps. I had to go into different type of jobs in the summer. I
hmm
even did Uber, with one of my cars.
Wow.
Like, so in the
Yeah.
summer, I'm still grinding at times, depending on where I play,
hmm
just to, but I'm thinking, like, what if I had to do that year round? That, I think, would be more of a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you
Definitely.
mean.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But at the same time, you're building skills that other people are not, like. Because
hmm
what I'm saying is that the first thing I did was, or someone said you have to write a resume, and I'm like, all I've done is hoop for, like, what does my resume look like? Like
Exactly.
I've played in, and then they're talking about, well, actually you've done this and you ran this and you were a captain and you showed your leadership
hmm
skills, and I never thought like that. And I was saying that from a women's perspective, actually, you've had to grind. Okay, university, you maybe babied a little bit more than you are as a pro,
hmm
right? But that grind that you're putting in is actually, like, it's unfair in many ways,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like it's actually helping you prepare for life after
Yeah,
the sport as well.
exactly.
The difference is you can't stack the paychecks like some of the guys can, and actually, but what I'm saying is most people, even if they're making X amount of money, they're spending X amount of money,
hmm
and then they retire and they think they're still going to be able to live the way they were living
Mm-hmm.
before, when actually that's not the reality for so
That was
many,
me.
you know.
That was
Yeah,
me. Yep. Thought I could still shop and
Mm-hmm.
travel and do
because
everything, and I come home broke, and that money wasn't coming back, and I had to
that's
go
it.
find a real job because I wasn't trying to hoop no more. Or there was a couple of
Yeah.
times where I had to go and hoop and didn't want to. So yeah, save your money. Save your money.
Yeah.
Man, for real. So, Kieran, what was it like coming over here to the US? You're from Scotland, and then going back to Europe to play basketball.
Yep. So it's crazy because obviously I'm from Scotland. Basketball was not big in Scotland
hmm
at all. Like, so it's not, it's growing, but it was never big. So basketball was never a dream of mine. Like, I was just really tall, and people said I should be playing basketball. But I went to a camp the five-star basketball camp when I was 16, and that was my first chance of hearing about scholarships and everything
Wow.
else. I knew nothing about basketball. To the point is, I was recruited. I remember I went to the reason I went to Duquesne University was because the five-star camp was in Pittsburgh. It was my first time ever in Pittsburgh
Wow.
in the States, and I was like, this place is amazing. There's skyscrapers, there's this. I want to go to school in Pittsburgh, right? I was sold. Summer in Pittsburgh, I was sold. And Coach McKillop came over from Davidson, and he was like, we're recruiting you. We recruit a lot of foreign players and stuff. I said, well, I'm already committed to Duquesne. And he said, don't you want to go to the big dance? And I just kind of nodded, and I went home to my mum and said, like, why would I want to go to a dance? I'm here to play basketball. Like, I literally I had no idea about basketball, like nothing.
Wow.
I'm thinking scholarship, university, get to play a sport I like in a cool place. That was my mindset. So it was very different from most American who dream of playing the sport and going to the NBA and everything. My mind was never like that. It was just like, I was just living in the moment,
Yeah.
completely living it. And I made the most of it. So when I came over to the States, it was very much my accent, everything else, like being black with a Scottish accent. And people were looking at me like, like, what are you? Who are you? Then they were complaining, saying my jeans are too tight and I need to go to Burlington Coat Factory and buy these 6XL,
For real.
jeans. And
To Burlington.
so I literally, my whole image got completely changed overnight. Like, it was just like, and now I look back at it, and now everyone's wearing tight jeans and everything else. We were just trendsetters.
Yep, exactly.
But
That's real.
so there was a real cultural experience for me, and actually the thing I learned the most in the States was to compete. Like, it was just like I would say that, as a Scottish person, we're very humble. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're going to come off the bench, okay, coach. While I was in the States, yeah, hell no, I'm coming off the bench. I'm going to be starting. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. That confidence and that kind of fight was just every day. So I was saying that the whole team thing, I bought into it. It was very easy for me because, coming from Scotland, we're a very, team-oriented kind of culture. But when in the States, I felt it was very individualistic. It's about me. I'm going to show you what I can do. And so actually, there's a real fight to try and fit into a team sport.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if you find a way to understand your role and stuff, you can fit in really easily. Or you're the superstar and they build around you. So I see a lot of players in my career who really struggled of being that person come off the bench, or being the person who doesn't get as many shots, or being the, you know what I mean? And actually, they're great players, but they needed to be the player. You know what I mean? I never had that problem, so it really kind of helped me in my career. But actually, when I first moved over to Italy, after university, I feel more comfortable in the States because we were English speaking country. It's different, but there's a lot of similarities. While in mainland Europe, it is very different. Like I said, it's like the accent. My teammates, I was usually more friendly with American players because they're English.
Yep.
Like, we have a real problem of actually, even in the UK, of actually adapting to new cultures. We believe everything should be like us. Everyone should speak English. I need to go to McDonald's, or I need to, I used to like Italian food before I moved to Italy. Why is there no chicken Alfredo? It was, it was a different kind of experience. So I felt very comfortable in the States. I loved the States. Then I moved to Italy, and it was a real culture shock. But I eventually embraced it. Because what I did was, I got in my comfort zone and said, you know what, I'm going to actually see Italy. I'm going to go out with my Italian teammates to see, I'm going to try and practice some Italian. I'm going to,
Yeah.
So I changed my mindset, and it took me a couple of years though. It wasn't overnight, because I was still out of my comfort zone so much that it was quite hard to adapt. But at the same time, like I said, I'm blessed. I've had, I love my time in the States. I love my time all over Europe. You know what I mean? And I even to this day, I compare and contrast different things I liked here, things I didn't like there, and kind of bring it to Scotland to try and help that next generation of players coming through too.
For sure. That's awesome, man. That's great you had that experience. And a lot of people, I just found out there's one of my former teammates in Australia, her friend is over here in the States playing college ball, but she wants to quit. And a lot of people I've met that are from overseas, they usually don't finish over here. So kudos to
Yeah,
you. And
yeah.
because it's not easy. I almost quit and I'm from here. So it's rough, man.
Yeah.
I did prep school as well. I went to
Oh
MCI
man.
up in Maine, and that was
So
tough.
you was ready.
That
You
was
got
different.
prepped.
Yeah, that prepped me. Yeah, definitely.
Man, hey, Aisha, I heard that you get treated like royalty over in Korea. Can you talk to me about that? You had a personal assistant, girl. Cause look, you might
No,
make me get back in shape right quick. I ain't too old.
Korea was amazing. That's the best place I've ever played. The only thing is the practices, 3 hours, 2 times a day.
Never mind.
And it's not like, you're going through plays. No, you're running, you're running, you're running, you're running, you're running, you're going to each other, you're playing against each other, and it's very intense. So a lot of people say like this isn't worth it, but they take care of you. They
Man,
take care of you, and I like it because it motivates me and keeps me in shape. Because you need
for
to be
sure.
on me like that for me to go to my full potential. But if not, I'm just gonna be relaxed, just like you are, being
I
relaxed.
feel that.
So that was. I mean, you have a translator, a driver.
Man,
The they pay like the men.
this
And you're rolling my eyes at me getting my light bulb screwed, and you've got a PA. Like
man,
Yeah,
that's legit,
I
man.
know.
that's a different world right there.
Man,
They stopped it. No foreigners now in Korea after COVID.
what?
Wow.
I know. I thought I would be playing there, like continue to play there, but
Wow.
no foreigners.
And culturally, how did you
Oh, I mean,
feel?
they
Like culturally,
love
did you?
Americans over there. Like
Yeah.
they always try to take
Wow.
pictures with us. They're super nice. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
that's what's up,
and there's a
man.
base. There's so many bases, so
Okay. Yeah.
when there's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
base. So who's on the base?
Yeah.
So there's the base. There's a lot of teachers. So I have my American friends
Wow.
everywhere out there. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so dope, man. That had to be a great
Oh my
experience.
goodness, it was
Mhm.
great. Three different
Man,
seasons. 3 seasons there.
really. And you would keep going back.
I would have kept going right now. I would give me the 6 hour practices. I don't care. Give me over
For
there.
real.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
like, what was the competition like over there?
I mean, you're going against because usually they only have WNBA players. Like it was Dantas,
Mm.
it was I know Mo Curry was there. We're playing. It had like I can't really remember all of them, but it was all WNBA players. Oh, KT, Kalena Thornton,
Man,
like
okay.
yeah, like all and
Man,
they only wanted
yeah.
forwards, so it's just you and them going against each other the whole time, and then
Man.
like, and it's like you respect each other because you're like, we're here. Rashonda Gray
Yeah.
was there while and
Wow.
Rashonda from California too, so we would see each other. Like it was,
Yeah, that's
it's just a
dope.
better environment, no drama. Because why? There's only one American on each team. How's it gonna be drama? And no one else speak English.
That's real.
No one
That's
knows.
real.
You have your
That's
translator. You're
real.
like, okay,
Yeah.
It was great.
Man,
Yeah,
that's real.
yeah.
Especially playing with all women
hmm
and all the things we go through
Oh
monthly.
my! Overseas in Europe, it is different for women. I'm sorry, it is. Even my friend
Oh
though, my
man.
friend is playing as a male player. He's in Japan. He's like, yeah, I can't do Europe anymore. He said even the men is not that great as Asia. Come on,
Yeah,
pretty
well, yeah.
Asia.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna take care of you, make sure you're
Yeah,
taken care
they
of.
take
Yeah.
care of you, but you know,
So if
uh,
they open it back up post COVID,
they
you in there.
won't. But I mean, I think that I would be, I would be in different shape. But I mean, if they would let me, I would be right there at their doorstep every
Yeah.
single
You're there.
day.
I feel that.
I would be
I
right
definitely feel
there,
that.
But
Man.
it doesn't seem like they're opening back up. They have a lot of half Asian Americans going out there. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's some COVID, the war is too much, man. Too much. People
Oh,
just want to hoop.
right. This war is a lot going
Yeah,
on.
it's for no reason. I don't get it. He just woke up one day
Well, I mean,
and
he's always been wanting to take over Ukraine. That's
yeah,
always
but
been the
why
thing.
today
I
though? You know
know.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friends in the military, and she's like, "Yeah, you always did like little threats, yeah, but like, come on, like now you want to actually do something about it."
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's what I'm saying.
it's not a bad timing.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how it's gonna affect the rest of the world.
Oh, gas
Now, like,
prices are up.
yeah, I'm about to say my crypto all the way down. Like I
Yeah, my
just started
stock,
investing in crypto, man.
my
I
stock is. I
just
was looking at it. I don't even want to look at it no more.
Yeah, I had to stop. I was checking it 3 times a day. Now I go 3 days without checking it. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, it's
I
sad.
can't, man. All right, Kieran. So you were in the Olympics, my guy. What was that
Ooh.
like? What was the preparation like as a team? What was it like meeting the other players? Tell us everything.
You know, it's crazy. Like I went pro because of the Olympics. So if you ever talk to about Mario, because like I said, my goal was get a scholarship, go to the States. I wasn't thinking about pro or anything else. And then we were told we were hosting the Olympics in 2012. So it was 2007 we found out that information, and I got called up for the GB team. And I went to camp, everything else. I think I got cut that year, came back for my senior year at college. And I in my mind, I was like, right, okay, I need to find a way to make that team. I want to be in the Olympics. So at that point, I had an agent in the States, and he had to he got stripped of his agency for some mess was going on.
Man.
So anyway, Fortitudo Club phoned me up in Italy. We're like, look, we've been trying to locate you all summer. Who's your agent? I was like, I don't have one. And they were like, well, we'll get you an agent. And that's how I met Mario. And actually, if I was to do it again, I would never have done that way, because they could have been working out any deal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for real.
But it worked out, I guess. I don't know how much I got ripped off my first year, but it worked out. But yeah, so my goal was always to make the Olympics, make the Olympics, make the Olympics. 2011, I got cut from the GB team
Wow.
the year before, and I was just heartbroken. Like, I was like, oh. So thankfully I signed an ACB that season. I had a really good season, and even the work with Mario, I was like, I need to go to the ACB or a big league, because I need to kind of get that recognition playing at the best. It was the NBA lockout that year. The ACB was seen as the Premier League. So I went there, had a good season, made the team. And the problem I think I had in my mind was, like I said, from a player perspective, I never felt that I was a great player. I had that imposter syndrome my whole career. Like, I was just like, always looking around saying, wow, I'm so lucky to be here. I'm so lucky. It was never like, I'm the man. I
Yeah.
should be here. You know what I mean? So making that team, I was really happy to just have made the team. And don't get me wrong, the players we had that year, we had like Lou Aldeng, Joe Freeland, we had Potts Mensah, we had NBA guys, top ACB guys. I was very lucky to make the team. But the preparation, we played against Team USA. I'm going against KD, Melo, LeBron, and I'm just looking
Wow.
and actually, when you talk about NBA dreams, see, when you play against the Team USA, you quickly realise there's levels to this game. I was just in complete awe. Like, what they had 38 dunks in the game against us. 38 dunks. Like, they were, and I was just like, this is unreal. But then I got put back to reality, and they were saying, remember, this is the elite of the NBA. Not everyone in the NBA is as good as this, Like, I was saying, I was playing scrub minutes with, like, Anthony Davis and Kevin Love. Like, they were the bums coming on for the last 3 minutes. We were rushing around, and it was just a different world. But I was so excited to be there and be a part of that I think I got too caught up in the games, the spectacle, the fans, that the actual playing to win was out of the question. I was just so happy to be in that moment. So when I reflected back on it, I had a great experience. Family was proud. It was a home games. But then I was quite angry at myself, because I never got in the zone to get focused and say, like, look, I'm here to compete. And we did get the win against China, and I actually top scored that game, their only win and everything. So it was quite a cool kind of statement. But at the same time, I just felt I could have given more. And I think if I went to like a second games, you know what I mean? I think we would approach it differently. And that's experience. And I always say that about players who are playing in like Euro leagues or everything like that, when they get into those leagues and they get that experience, it builds up, it builds up, builds up. You need to get those opportunities, to actually show what you can really do. You know what I mean? And if you don't get those opportunities, and so many players don't get as lucky as that, you know what I mean, to actually get those opportunities. So players who get to play the bigger European competitions and bigger leagues and everything else, that's such invaluable experience that not everyone gets. And I was saying that I wish I'd been more prepped for those games, but at the same time, like I said, I was a complete fanboy, chasing after Serena Williams, asking for photos. Like it was a great experience, But one I'll never forget. And actually, that was I would say the highlight of my career. Like mentally, I was ready to tap out after the games. I was planning on retiring after 2012, and I ended up going back and playing for another 6 or 7 years because. Man. I guess I when I said I was retiring, I was like, well, what am I going to do? All right, so I'll go and play until I figure out what I'm going to do.
Man, that's wild. 6, 7 years after
retired.
You know what I'm saying? You mentally retired.
Right.
That's something else, man.
Yeah.
That shows you the strength of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. And I guess see the competitiveness as well. Like it's like sometimes you feel that you just need to compete. You know what I mean? And then you start like I said, I was always riddled with that imposter syndrome. So I was always questioning myself, like if I'm not in the gym, or if that person's doing this, or even for a night out, my mindset was always if I go out tonight and I'm struggling tomorrow morning, my competition has got a 2 days head start on me. So I'm not going to go out and get wasted drunk because I need to get into the gym to make sure I was. You know what I mean? I was always challenging myself because I was so worried about people taking my spot or doing this or doing that. And I think that's why my skill set, I wasn't, I could shoot the ball, but I wasn't one of those one-on-one could break people down. But my work ethic, it was unmatched.
Yeah.
Like I just, because I needed it. Like I could have never believed in myself enough that I had to keep working. So. And that's what I was saying. By the time I did retire, it was just too much.
Man.
Like I was just starting to completely second guess absolutely everything, and I needed out.
Understandable, very relatable. Also, I think most of us who are approaching the transition out go through that, and like you said, it's great to know and to hear that other people go through that too. Like you don't ever want anybody to go through anything like that, but it's also comforting for you, and I'm sure for the other people also. So again, I'll thank you both for sharing that, and you sharing about your friends, Aishah. Thank you. All right, so we got rapid fire coming up, y'all. Is there anything that I didn't touch on before we get to rapid fire that you guys want to share?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. Favorite food?
Mexican food.
Both of you go. Mexican?
Italian.
Ooh, both of those sounds. Oh, yeah, just made me hungry. All right, favorite movie? Favorite movie?
Oh, it has to be Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Love basketball. Still.
I'm about to say, if you need to give a top 5 for some of these, because I got like favorite song on here too. I know that's going to be hard.
Favorite song going to be, oh no, I got it.
All right, favorite song?
Closer to My Dreams.
Woo, yes. Yes. Yes.
Favorite song? You know what? The old school R&B, Joe, I Wanna Know. I love that song. That's the light skin in me. That's the light skin in me. Yeah.
Playboy, okay. All right, this is gonna be a good one. Favorite athlete, not basketball. Yeah, I knew that was gonna throw y'all off.
You already know I know my favorite basketball player.
I might go with my girl Serena Williams.
Okay.
There's this new one that I like. There's a new tennis player,
that was your
young one that I like,
days.
but it can't be favorite if I don't know a name like that.
Coco.
Naomi Osaka.
I'm about to say Coco, Naomi. It's another one
Naomi,
too,
I think it is.
Okay, yep,
Osaka. Yes, Osaka.
Yes.
Yeah,
she
her.
dope. Okay.
I like
her.
Yep.
I like both of them. Okay, both tennis. That's interesting. I wonder if basketball players could play tennis and tennis players could play basketball because they are similar in
I
a
mean,
sense.
hand-eye coordination,
You know, I wonder
I think
quick on the
that
feet.
team individual though is a big thing.
for sure. I
Uh,
agree. Let me see. Favorite country you both played in?
South Korea.
Say that was easy. I didn't need to ask you.
um, I I love both Spain and Italy. I would say Spain was my favourite team, man race. Absolutely loved it there.
That's
So
awesome.
I'll say Spain. Spain tips that then.
I love Spain too, but I think Korea my favorite, and I ain't even go there. So, all right, your favorite teammate and why?
My favorite teammate was Keisha Swan. Yeah, she actually went to UConn,
Oh
and I
wow,
was her
yes,
teammate for two different teams. And she's actually in London now, but she was my favorite. She know how to
that's
pass that
awesome,
ball.
man.
Yeah.
Yes, man, a hell of a passer, man.
She made it
Yes,
so easy.
that's beautiful, man. That's dope. That's dope. What about you, Kieran?
uh, Orlando Tucker.
Hmm.
I would say he was my. Do you remember Orlando played at Wisconsin? Played for his Suns. He was with me in Bulgaria. When you talk about that more than an athlete thing, he was doing so many things off the court that it really motivated me. You know what I mean? To like, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he was, he was writing songs. He had his own business. He was doing a lot of mentoring young kids. Um, he was just a good teammate, and it was in a tough place. Like Bulgaria was quite a tough place to be.
mm,
But he just made it, fun. But it was productive. You know what I mean? It wasn't just wasting
for
time. It was
sure.
actually challenging me mentally as well. So yeah, I would say he was probably my. I had so many though, but
Yeah,
yeah, I would say Orlando was definitely up there.
that's awesome. All right, who or what is your motivation? Might
I'm
be
gonna get deep
Lexi over
here.
there.
Ah, Lexi is making a lot of noise. Um, I mean, my motivation is, I don't know. I've had so many people like, I'm the type of person that I did always kind of go do other things than what other people said that probably you would have never thought I'd make it to become a basketball player. I had a skill level, of course, but I always went to go do what I wanted, And people would be like, "You're not gonna make
Hmm.
it. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna do this. Keep partying. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna make it. It's not gonna happen." And that I was just showing, like, yeah, I can still do it. Like, I can still continue
Yep.
to keep playing. Like, I'm still doing it. I'm still
You feel
going.
me?
Yeah.
Like,
You feel me?
you told
Yep.
me I couldn't. I'm still going. And
Yep.
like, and so many different people. I mean, I understand I live differently. I kind of do, but I've calmed down a lot. I've grown. I've had a lot of growth, but it always feels like, how do you continue to play basketball and live like how you do? And
Cause you do. You
yeah,
blessed. We all
Yeah.
different. Like that's it.
people different.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I
And
used to party in college and then go to practice still lit, but it is what it
it is
is.
what it is. Yeah, some people can do
We
it, some
have
people can't.
fun.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just got your mind off a lot of the like little things that happen in women's basketball. Honestly, there's a lot of little things that you have to deal with. That's like, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to even hear anyone's noise. Like,
You feel me?
yeah.
That's real. That's real.
That's your outlet. That's one of your outlets, and that's actually something. See, when I was get really strict about not going out or not eating the right way or whatever,
Hmm.
usually mentally I was more drained than when I was actually just living my best life. You know what I mean? And
Yep,
then hooping, because when I got so focused and laser focused on certain things, it was too much.
for
You know what I mean?
sure.
I needed those outlets as well. But yeah, me personally, I'm very much in that camp of when I first went over to that basketball camp at 16 and stuff, having a coach tell me that if I worked hard I could get a scholarship, and that changed my
Hmm.
life. Like I went from the young kid who was drinking on the street with my friends, because that's all you do in Scotland,
Man.
like not thinking about what next, to all of a sudden had a dream, like I could actually be something. You know what I mean? So a lot of the things I do is it's all aimed at that, of actually helping young people have belief that they can be something. And I'm
Hmm.
not talking about being a hooper, because I understand that not everyone can be a hooper, but everyone can be something. And you think about the communities we come from and everything else. How many people just are so apathetic that they can achieve anything? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So that's kind of what motivates me, and that's it. And obviously my kids as well.
For sure.
It's kind of like being that role model, making sure I'm a positive role model and doing things and taking risks and living a certain way, with morals and everything
Yeah,
else. I think that's another thing that kind of drives me
for sure.
with my actions.
That's so precious. I don't have kids yet. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I'm scared I'm leave them somewhere or something. I'm not responsible yet. Yeah, I
Or
will
if you
admit
or if you like
that.
sleep,
I openly admit that. Don't leave your kids with me if you're not here. Don't leave your dog with me. Don't leave
Oh,
Lexi over here. I did wag for a little bit. I did do pretty good, but no, I don't, I'm gonna tell you, don't leave your kids, your dog, don't leave nobody with me that you love. Don't do it. Not even your phone. Don't leave nothing with me. I'm gonna lose it. Don't leave nothing with me. I'm gonna lose it. Man, all right. Last one, y'all. Advice for younger players in college or their rookie season, well, and or their rookie season overseas.
and for advice for
don't do it. No, I'm joking.
someone that's in college that wants that's or overseas already.
Either just generally, like you can say they're in college or transitioning into
Hmm.
their rookie season, already
Overseas,
in their
yeah.
rookie season. Yeah.
You, yeah.
I would say learn to like trying your hardest to embrace some of the cultures of where you're going.
Yes.
Don't just
Yes.
get caught up because you look back and you see all the countries you've played in and everything else, and actually some of them you've just literally lived in an apartment and saw a gym. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Actually, try and embrace some of that culture because
Hmm.
that could serve you well in the future and actually helps you connect with a lot of the local players and stuff too. Don't just get so closed off to everything, like because it's still your life.
For
I used to
sure.
just live for this. I used to just live for the summer. Like I was like, this 9, 10 months doesn't count. I'm just living for the summer. When
Hmm.
actually, this is my life. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
real.
I mean, what do you like
Mm.
going off of what Keon said? Like that's the same. I mean, some players will come over here and stay just in their city, not travel around. They'll be on FaceTime with people back in America, wishing and hoping they were
Yep.
back in America.
Hmm.
Get out and
Yeah.
see where you're at. Like that's what
Hmm.
I've always done. Travel to these other. Go on Ryanair flight for $5, $10 and go travel to
Yeah.
another country. Figure,
Man.
like it's easy to get around here and just have those experiences. Go back to America to tell your kids or your family,
Yeah.
that I did
Hmm.
this, you know?
For sure. That's definitely one of my biggest regrets is not getting out more and
Hmm.
not embracing it more. I tried here and there, but there were times where I definitely got homesick and I let that
Hmm.
take over me instead of, linking up with my teammates and
Hmm.
allowing them to show me their world. And I
Hmm.
think that would have, like you said, it would benefit me
Hmm.
and to keep sharing, like I would have way more, experiences to talk about
Hmm.
and share. So I agree 1000%. And I definitely think that's a common theme. Like I always hear players say that is embrace the culture because
Hmm.
you'll regret it
Mm.
eventually at
Yeah,
some point.
for sure.
For sure. Is there anything else before we leave that y'all got? No, that's it. Well, thank you both. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been real. And thank y'all for being patient. I know it's been a few weeks, but I appreciate y'all and it's been really fun. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes.